Wow. Okay. Hi,
So,
everyone.
so official.
Yes, so official. I am Katie Moon from Moon Design Lab, and today I am here with Ciara Rubin. She is a tarot mystique, and she is helping you trust your intuition through trusting tarot cards or reading tarot cards. And if you'd like to explain more, that would be great.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
Um, yes. So tarot cards are a thing that started, they think possibly back in 1500s Italy. And that has become something today that is very quickly becoming non-taboo and into popularity because they're really fun, and it's a really fun way to connect with your inner voice, with your higher self, with your intuition, whatever you want to call it. It's a really fun way to surprise yourself with actually how well you know yourself and how well you know what you should or shouldn't be doing in order to create the outcomes that you want to create in your life. And it's not about fortune telling, it's about crafting the choices and decisions and thoughts that you think, and decisions that you make so that you are co-creating the life that you actually want to have. It's really helping you in a visual way, bring that awareness to what you're creating and what you're bringing into your reality, um, in a practical sense, but also super fun and magical kind of way.
Yeah, for sure. And what were you doing prior to this? 'Cause that's the main reason why I wanted to share time with you is to talk about the art of pivoting in business and knowing when it's time to pivot.
Yeah, so right before this, I was teaching social media and business strategy for people who would want to do things like read tarot cards. For, you could call them light workers, intuitives, people who are into personal development, people who have a message to share that is tinged with a little bit of spirituality. I was teaching them Instagram strategies, staying consistent, showing up online, sharing their message, getting clients, all of these things. But the truth is, Katie, I have pivoted a lot of times. I am probably a pivot queen. And this, I swear to myself, the universe, and my children that this is the last pivot for at least the next 5 years. Um, but I am probably the pivot queen. When I first started my business, I was reading cards for people, but it was really more, I was teaching intuition development. And then a couple years after that, I pivoted into teaching the chakras and how to connect the physical issues that you're having in your body to chakra dysfunction so that you can actually make it so those physical things don't come back once you heal them. And initially, I was pivoting because I was just evolving. I was evolving in my message. I was evolving myself spiritually, internally. So it was almost as if every time I had a shift, I would pivot in my business. But then eventually, the pivoting started to become me being afraid to commit to something, or me being afraid to um, nail myself down into something that wouldn't feel really fulfilling to me. That's a little bit of self-awareness shadow work right there. But yeah, that's the truth. That's just the truth.
Mhm. So when you felt like you were supposed to shift, did you just find you were being kind of pulled in that direction, or you had a moment of clarity where you knew what you were supposed to do?
Interesting. It's come in a lot of ways because sometimes it was a moment of clarity. Sometimes it was because of experiences that I was having. I've had a lot of really strange, you could call them spiritual or even otherworldly type experiences. So when I started having those experiences, it really rocked my world. And I was like, well, if this is happening, then this must be what I'm supposed to talk about. It became this like search for, what am I supposed to talk about? What am I supposed to become known for? I understand that I need to like niche down into something, because that's what all the business coaches say, but like, what is my thing? So instead of just like sitting and twiddling I don't know what this is, my fingers and thumbs,
Yes.
and like thinking about it, I have done that online in front of everybody for years and years, and just figuring it out. So sometimes it was because of experiences. A lot of times it was because things didn't work. I would try something and it would quote unquote fail, or I wouldn't get the outcome that I was desiring. It would feel like I was pulling a cart uphill without wheels, and it would just felt hard. And it was like, probably shouldn't feel this hard. Like, I know it's supposed to be hard. Hard is okay, but I don't think it should feel this hard. So a lot of it came from failure and realizing, okay, clearly this is not meant for me. This direction is not meant for me. So I'm going to pivot and try to find it again.
Okay. That was going to be one of my questions as well. While you were experiencing these different things, did you find that there was a lot of resistance to the work that had to be done to get to the desired result? And
Yes.
that's kind of what you said, pulling the cart uphill. It's not really something you're super stoked to work on, and you're excited, but it's not the same level of excitement as something that feels very fluid and aligned with what you're doing.
Right. But then too is like, sometimes it's just gonna be hard. Like, it's just gonna be work. It's like in the tarot, it's the Eight of Pentacles. It's a card of doing the work, putting your head down and doing good work, and not, looking up and seeing like, okay, is this like this, is this working? Is this the thing? Like, just keeping your blinders on and keeping and moving forward and keeping that internal fire to keep you going. And I would find that, so I've had the first iteration of ciararubin.com at the end of 2015, on Weebly. Don't judge. And since then, so that's been almost 6 years now. I've pivoted probably every year or so. There was the one topic, that otherworldly thing that I mentioned, that I stuck with that for a couple years before having my first child. And that was my Saturn return, which means when Saturn goes back into the sign that it was when you were born. And that just like blew up my world, like having a kid for the first time, in a good and difficult way.
Of course.
Also good. And so a lot of times it was like me being afraid to get stuck doing something that I didn't really want to do, but really needing to commit to doing the work that it would take. But it was almost like every time I pivoted, it was like spirit was keeping me safe and saying, not yet, this isn't it yet, this isn't it yet. And so I was allowing that to happen instead of just continuing to push forward with it anyway. And when I hit the spiritual business stuff, it was a culmination of I had learned so many things about business through that process of all that pivoting and having that website and having, putting myself out there for all those years already. And I wanted to help people with that. And still see a problem in the spiritual industry with people not being grounded or not putting themselves out there enough, and not really giving themselves the structure that they need for all that flowy, hippy dippy kind of stuff. And so I wanted to help people with that. But then it was like, but wait a minute, this doesn't feel magical enough for me. And now business coaching is awesome, and anything related to that is so needed and is magical in its own way. But just for me personally, I knew that I needed to be doing something that was a little bit just way more out into the woo. And so I really did in 2020, right before COVID hit, I committed, like, I'm going to do the work. I'm going to post a YouTube video every week. I'm going to show up every day on Instagram. And I did that for
Mhm.
all year.
You did.
And, that time, it didn't work because that's not what I was meant to be teaching.
Mhm.
So now it's like I have that foundation. I know that I can show up. I know that I can do the work. I know that I'm not afraid of the work anymore. And now I'm talking about something that is magical enough, but also very practical, because I have to have that logical, practical, applying it to your real life kind of stuff,
Mhm.
that I know that I can really stick with it, and it just feels really aligned. So
Mhm.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, for sure. I think what's important, as we go along with our business, that we always have a choice. And it can be really scary to feel like we have to niche down, like we have to pick something, we have to be known for something in particular. And I think when we start to get very influenced by that idea, we become very scared because then we feel like we can't really be ourselves. That was
Yeah.
what happened with me. It was like, I'm showing up because I'm being told I need to do all these things, and it's not me,
Yeah.
you know? And then once we let go of that idea, like our niche becomes our brand and who we are
Yeah.
and our story. And that we did pivot along the way. We always had a choice, and we can show others that that is what can happen for them too. They aren't stuck. You can always do something new, and you should be
Yes.
really paying attention to your inner voice. And when you were going through those things, did you have any kind of practices that let you really hear what you were supposed to be doing, like journaling, or did you just focus on the cards?
So it's a combination. So the cards have been with me since the beginning. For six years I've been reading cards for other people and for myself. um and so definitely that. And I've definitely had my moments of getting some cards and I'm like, okay, fine. Like tarot brings the smackdown along with the inspiration. So it just gets real. So that has been extremely helpful in keeping myself honest. Definitely journaling, definitely meditation as well, for keeping things as clear as I can. That's definitely something that I am working to overcome right now, is thoughts. And I meditate every day, but it's still a process. Um, and then a really big one for me is my dreams. Like literally every night I have dreams that are telling me things that are like metaphorical or symbolic of things that I'm experiencing. I'll get messages. There was one time that I was really sick and I was like, how can I'm like breastfeeding my baby right now, so I can't take these certain over-counter medications. Like, what is going to help me? And I literally had a dream that night, and in the dream was 3 boxes, and one box said oregano, one said turmeric, and one said echinacea. And I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh, okay, all right.
I
And
know.
so I did it, and it helped, and I got better. And so my dreams really, really lead me. I have had so many dreams about reading tarot cards. All the time I have dreams about reading tarot cards for other people. And so there were clues there. And I'm also a really, really big proponent of, I call it shadow work. You could call it emotional processing. Processing my feelings, whether those were feelings that were unfelt or repressed from childhood, or feelings that I'm not wanting to face in myself, in the present time. I'm a big shower person. I'll process feelings in the shower, just really letting myself feel those things, and cry or scream or like whatever I need to do to get those feelings out. So that is what I think creates the biggest amount of clarity for me, is not being muddled with all of these for lack of a better term, low vibrational feelings,
Mhm.
so that I can really see things clearly instead of seeing them from a hurt place. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, for sure. When we're operating from a place of hurt and fear, there's a lot of white noise and we really can't hear what's going on.
Yeah.
So we just kind of are, you know, navigating as best as we can in that space,
Right.
which is oftentimes not the best.
Yeah.
But when we do that shadow work and process those emotions and feel everything along the way, that's definitely how we gain clarity. I do that a lot too. I'm definitely a big, like, I run, I hike. That's when I process a lot. And journaling helped me substantially too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every day I wake up and I journal. That's the first thing.
That's
And that
cool.
really like lowers the noise. It gets out that chatter. It's
Yeah.
not up in my head anymore. Yeah.
Totally. I love that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm just trying to think about, yeah, journaling. Journaling is good. I'm thinking about like maybe starting a practice before I go to bed. But sorry, I don't know if you're editing this or if I'm
Oh, oh no, we could just do it. And I said mystique at the beginning when I meant mystic. So it's like, I think
I was
it's
like,
better to be
ooh,
candid and fun. I was like, oh,
yeah, I love it.
yes, it's Thursday. It's fine. Yeah, because it shows who we are for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I just when it comes to pivoting, yeah, like so if I had some advice, it's
Mhm,
like just be self-aware. Yes, pivot, absolutely. You'll know when it's time to evolve because either something's not working or maybe it is working, but you're not feeling alive inside, you know,
mhm.
and allow that to happen. Allow yourself to make the change. And also don't allow yourself to make the change because you're running from something.
Yes.
That would be sort of a summation, I think.
I think that's perfect. Is
Awesome.
there anything else that you'd like to share, like things that you want people to check out or where they can find you if they want to check out your
Yeah,
content?
thank you so much. So I was just telling Katie that I am planning to change my Instagram handle to at Ciara Rubin Tarot. So we could say that is where you can find me, and you can check out my free Accurate AF tarot reading cheat sheets there. And I would love to start chatting with you about all things cards and tarot and intuition.
Yes. Yay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you sitting down with me.
Yay! Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course. Bye.